Hello everyone, welcome to SAP GRC Access Control course. Let me give an overview about this training session. This training session is designed based on experience and knowledge. I try to reduce the PowerPoint presentations and document reading as much as possible and make it more practical oriented. However, initial 2 or 3 sessions that we have to understand SAP GRC and some of the background to know why the GRC is very important to us. So let me begin. Let me begin with saying that GRC is an attitude. Is an attitude how to do business in the right way. Meaning to say, don't think like GRC just like a software. This is a culture to comply with all the regulations and to enforcements or internal policies and risk management. So GRC is an attitude or a culture that we need to carry along the way when during the implementation of the GRC. Okay, GRC means governance, risk and compliance, referred as GRC. Describes the process and software used to achieve the compliance requirement. The goal of a GRC is to help companies efficiently and proactively implement policies and controls to address its compliance obligations. That means after implementing GRC, it helps, or rather it should help the corporate to do business in the right way. During the implementation of GRC, we should automate as much as possible. That is one of the main goal of GRC implementation or SAP GRC implementation. That means we have to change the traditional manual fashion of doing business or compliance. In fact, most of the companies demands compliance regulations by shareholders. That means shareholders demands, or it boosts up the confidence of the shareholders that if you have an compliance in place. Through GRC implementation, corporates like to comply with regulation with minimum cost. That means how do we achieve that? In fact, as I said, that we need to automate as much as possible, or in means of centralized monitoring policies and regulations, like centralize all these stuffs, etc. GRC helps better performance in reduced costs. That means by implementing GRC, a software to comply with the regulations, that it should reduce the cost of the compliance. GRC is not option for most part of companies, have no choice but to comply. That meaning that they have to comply with the regulation because the business demands that. But rather how to comply efficiently is the way and benefits that company's product and the profitability of the company, whereby SAP GRC stand different from comparing to other GRC in this perspective. Let me explain you this by a real-time example. Let's assume that you are driving a car. You have set of rules that you are expected to follow, right? First of all, you need a driving license and an insurance. Then your car must be inspected for compliance with safety and environment laws, something like this. Then while you are driving, you are controlled by police, and then you have some penalties to drive within the speed limit. That means if you are over speeding and things like that, some another restrictions. On top of all these restrictions, that you may also have your own rules about driving, right? Something like never drive when you are talking in the cell phone, for your own safety. That's your own rule. Then you have some more activity like maintaining your car, that it it's up to you, like meaning maybe it can differ from person to person how do they maintain that car. And let's say someone will have oil more than it's required or more than it's recommended by the car manufacturer. Or maybe like they tilt the tires more frequently, you know, reduce the life of the tire. Or someone will use some premium gas and so on. So many things like this, yeah. So now let's see in our example, GRC is a driving method, yeah, where your objective is to comply with all the laws which with no penalties. That, yeah, so with using this GRC driving methodology, that you wanted to drive and comply with all the laws and you don't need to have any penalty. That's the efficiency. You also wanted to have high efficiency and safety, yeah, which keeps you out of trouble and drive the car more efficiently and economically. Here I will conclude the introduction section. Thank you very much for listening. See you in the next lecture.